based on a traditional tale of Vietnam. The story, The Ghost at the Lamppost. At the beginning of the 20th century, our country was still under colonial rule, and the colonialists had made Hanoi their administrative center. In those days, Hanoi's streets were bustling only during the day. By night, they were pitch dark, and everyone went to bed when the roosters crowed. Theft at night was a frustrating problem. So the colonists installed electric streetlights, and from then on, the city was brightly lit at night, almost like daytime. The colorful lights were unmatched anywhere. The rate of theft decreased significantly, but people began staying up late, and nighttime outings among young men and women became frequent, leading to flirtations and complications. At that time, there was a young man named Vun, about 18 years old, whose exact hometown was unclear, somewhere near the outskirts of Hanoi. He came from a minor official family, staying in the city to attend a colonial school. Being young and away from home, he often went out at night with friends to hang around the city. One night, following his usual habit, but with no friends to accompany him, he wandered the streets alone, feeling somewhat bored. As he strolled under the dim glow of a street lamp, he noticed a girl around 16 or 17, slim and graceful, idly circling the lamppost. Curious, he approached and was stunned. She was as delicate as a dewy morning lotus, as radiant as a camellia in sunlight. His heart stirred. He asked, "Why are you out so late at night, all alone? Aren't you afraid of ghosts?" She replied, "I help my mother with her shop all day and cook dinner at night. I had to sneak out to get some fresh air, but there's no one around." He said, "If there's no one to hang out with, why not hang out with me?" She retorted, "You're quick to approach a girl, aren't you? Aren't you afraid of ghosts yourself, wandering around at night?" He replied, "You're not afraid, so why should I be? With the streetlights so bright, how can ghosts even appear? Want to go find some ghosts together?" She teased, "Is that your best line? So where do we find ghosts?" Encouraged by her flirtation, he took her hand and said, "Let me show you." She tried to pull away, but he held on too tightly. He asked, "Why is your hand so cold?" She replied, "I've been out here in the wind and dew just to meet you. Of course it's cold." Her soft words were like spring water trickling through a stream or warm tea on a winter afternoon. The two kept talking, flirting like a pair of doves, then slipped off to a secluded place for romantic play. Whenever they got close, he noticed her body felt unusually cold and light, but she explained it away, saying slender girls naturally feel that way, especially at night. He was so enamored that he didn't question it further. Eventually, he learned her name was Vaughn, and she lived nearby. She would sneak out at night to meet him under the lamppost. Every few nights, they would rendezvous, flirt passionately, and seek out secluded places for intimacy like true lovers. Over time, Vaughn became negligent in his studies and distanced from his friends. His friends noticed the change, questioned him, but he just smiled it off. His body grew thinner, his face hollow. Friends advised him that while pleasures exist, studies must come first, but he only murmured and ignored them. After 3 months, he fell seriously ill, bedridden. The landlord made him thin porridge, but he couldn't even swallow it. He screamed at night in terror. Alarmed, the landlord contacted his family to take him home. His family came to care for him. After a month, his condition worsened. He no longer recognized anyone, not even his parents. He lay motionless, eyes rolled back, mouth agape, fed only on rice porridge. They tried both traditional and Western medicine, but nothing worked. In desperation, they carried him back home to prepare for the worst. As they passed the village gate, an old man of about 70, sitting under a tree, laughed and said, "Bringing the boy home, are you? That's no ordinary illness. Doctors can't help him." Startled, Vaughn's parents approached the old man respectfully and asked, "Sir, what kind of illness is it then?" The old man was once a royal astrologer, well versed in the heavens and earth, and a master of physiognomy. Disenchanted with court life, he had retired to the countryside to practice traditional medicine. The villagers held him in high esteem. He calmly said, "Now that he's home, bring him to the communal temple to pray to the village deity. He'll see to it." Though skeptical, thinking such superstitions had no place in modern times, the mother urged her husband, "In illness, we pray in all directions. It can't hurt." So they brought Van to the village temple. As they passed through the temple gate, Von suddenly screamed and regained consciousness, flailing and recognizing his parents, bowing and crying. Everyone was astounded and paid homage to the old man. He said, "Each land has its guardian spirit. Once he returned to the domain of our village deity, no ghost or demon could harm him. His illness was caused by a ghost. Now, the deity has intervened. Your family is blessed. Offer proper thanks. I'll visit in half a month." The family gratefully bowed, invited him home, but he declined and walked away. Following his advice, they held a ceremony to thank the village deity and cared for Von diligently. He gradually recovered. Half a month later, the old man returned. The family was both glad and nervous. He said, "Now tell me the truth. Did you go out at night?" Ashamed and frightened, Von confessed everything to his parents and the old man. The old man chuckled. "Wander at night enough, and you're bound to meet a ghost. I'll go see what kind of beauty bewitched you. Prepare some travel funds and a couple of servants." The parents agreed eagerly, supplied him with provisions and helpers, and set off at dawn. That evening, Von stood again beneath the familiar street lamp. Sure enough, the girl appeared, delicate and graceful, and hugged him from behind. Startled, he shouted, "Hey!" She too recoiled in shock. Suddenly, the old man leapt from a nearby alley, seized her hand. She tried to flee, but he held fast. He thundered, "You wicked spirit, dead and still lingering here to cause mischief, seducing the living with your tricks." Terrified, she covered her face, unsure what to do. Now fully aware, Von wasn't scared. He had grown fond of her. Seeing the old man scold her, he moved to intervene, but his servants held him back. Tearfully, he pleaded, "Master, ghost or not, feelings are real. She didn't mean harm. Please go easy on her." The old man barked, "You're a ghost causing someone to nearly die. Do you realize how grave your crime is?" She wept and said softly, "Please, master, I was once a good girl, born during the Kenhung era. My family was poor, and I died young. My parents sold my body to a wealthy family to guard their treasure. They fed me enchanted herbs, binding my spirit here. I wander at night, lonely and aimless." She added, "When the streetlights came, the area stayed lively at night. I got used to mingling with the living. I never meant to harm, just curiosity and longing for what I missed in life." Von begged again. "Though we are of different worlds, the feelings were genuine. I owe you my life, master. But please show mercy. She, too, suffered misfortune." The old man said, "Flirting as a ghost is improper, nearly costing a life. Tell us where your body lies, and I'll perform a proper ritual so you can move on. Don't linger and harm more people." He released her hand. She knelt and said, "My body is buried right under the wall near that lamppost, about 2 or 3 meters down. Please, master and sir, help me find peace." Suddenly, the light flickered and went out. When it came back on, she was gone. At dawn, they paid the homeowner for access and dug beneath the wall. About 2 meters down, they found a coffin. Inside was a preserved body, hers exactly, unchanged as if asleep. Everyone sighed in sorrow. Von collapsed in grief and had to be carried home. The old man reached into her mouth and pulled out a small pouch. Immediately, her body and clothes turned to ash, leaving only bones. Everyone was shocked. Using the reward money, he hired monks and priests to perform funerary rites and reburied her respectfully. After her reburial, Von remained dazed and heartbroken. One night, as he slept, someone entered his room. Half awake, he saw it was her. Startled, he couldn't speak. She smiled and said, "Thanks to you and the master, I've found peace and will soon be reborn. Don't grieve. Focus on your family and studies. Without your parents' efforts, I wouldn't have reached this day. If you let go of our bond, I'll be content." Then she walked to the door. He reached out, fell from bed, and woke up. It was just a dream. In the morning, he told his parents. They believed her wish was fulfilled and held a final ceremony at her grave. Oh, and one more thing. She had been fed enchanted herbs to guard treasure. When they buried her again, they uncovered an immense stash of gold and silver. But everyone was too frightened to touch it. Reluctantly, the 2 servants brought it home. Von's parents brought the treasure to the old man, saying, "You saved our son and released her spirit. This is yours." The old man laughed. "That very treasure turned her into a ghost and nearly killed your son. Now you want to pass its curse on to me?" Terrified, they said nothing. He added, "Heaven's gifts belong to the earth. Use it for good deeds." So they used the wealth to rebuild her grave, distribute charity, and donate to a temple to cast a bell. Vun returned to school and gave up his nighttime escapades. Nothing more was heard after that. Truly, as our ancestors said, he who walks at night often will one day meet a ghost. The story ends here.